Good afternoon, darlings. So off we go for another magical mystery tour with me, and try to catch up with everything that's happened since I last spoke to you on the 6th of April, just before the 8th of April, total solar eclipse. So I've just spent a moment gathering articles of all the stuff that has happened that I have noticed that I want to point out to you since we had the eclipse. This just jumped to mind because I'm now focusing on this conjunction that we're about to have on Hitler's birthday, the 20th. So I was just pulling out the chart to get ready. So on that day we have the moon that will go from Leo. The moon is right now as I speak here on Regulus, but this is for the 20th, and right now we're the 18th. The sun has just entered Aries today. We'll get to that in a minute. So we're a little bit coming out of that drowning of Pisces. The sun just entered Aries, and on the 20th we have Hitler's birthday, and we have the moon that will go from where it is right now on Regulus, and it will move on that day into Virgo. So that is the Whore of Babylon. We have the tail of the snake. We have the 7 heads. We've got Jupiter, we've got the Sun, we've got Jupiter, Uranus, we've got Mercury, Venus, we've got Mars, we've got Saturn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we don't count Neptune, we've got 7 heads of the beast. And so that just came to me, but we'll get back to that. Let's just have a look at that journey from the eclipse and have a look at all the things that happened in the news with this movement from the 6th, the last time I spoke to you, the 4-6, so 46 chromosomes. We had the moon conjunct to Saturn, the moon, the ruler of Cancer, and conjunct to Saturn and Mars. Right on Formaholt, that true third eye. Mars is the ruler of where we have this coming up conjunction of Uranus and Jupiter underneath AlgOl, and where we also have I've got Stellarium up here. So now why are they only giving me, why aren't they giving me the, why can't I see the signs? Okay, well, Ponce Brooks, so there's, we've got the Devil's Comets, right on that Y of Taurus, and I've got the 18th, so 19, 20, and Jupiter and Uranus, conjunction Uranus. So absolute conjunction, combust on the 20th. And we've also got, so these guys are going to be in Aries, and the comet, the Devil's Comet, is going to be in Taurus. Okay, so back to the 6th, the last time we spoke. So Mars rules where that comment was still there. Let's go to the 6th. Okay, so the 6th, Ponce Brooks was just between Aries and Taurus. It was probably just still in Aries, and now coming up, so we can go along and see. So it moved into Taurus. Moved into Taurus on the day that we had that fire. So I've got everything up here. So the fire at the stock exchange, disappearance of the flight, explosive devil comet will soon be at its brightest. The explosive green devil comet is about to reach its closest point to the sun. Here's how to see the rare visitor at its best and brightest. A devil comet is about to rear its icy green head over Earth, but you'll have to look soon to spot it. On April the 21st, the 10.5 mile wide Comet 12P Pont. So by that time the moon is going to be in Virgo. This fire at the stock exchange at 4 o'clock, the Four Corners, on the 16th of April, which is 16/4, which is, yeah, anyway, so during which it will be about 144 million miles 232. Well, so we've got the 144,722 plus 72 Twin Peaks, and we've got 232, which is the 332223 flip-flop at 232 from our star, at a magnitude of about 5.9, of course. So that's just the 56, 59 flip-flop. So it may not be there. The lower the magnitude, the brighter the object. Sirius, the brightest star in Earth's night, shines at a magnitude of 1.46. Okay. So let's have a look. On the 21st, 21. So this Pontsbrook is going to be Omicron Tauri. We've got Omicron Tauri, a bit like Omicron, which is just MC Orion. MC Orion, that's Orion, putting MC Orion, putting, here's Orion, here's his wand, which looks just like, so giving the summer solstice, which is Taurus, to Orion. The devil's comet is going to be on Tauri MC Orion. Right conjunct to Aldebaran as Jupiter and Uranus, who haven't been conjunct. Is it 30 years? Is it 35 years? I think I've seen it as 30 years. I've also seen people saying 20 years. Every 20 years there's a Jupiter Uranus, but for it to be right under, Isis, Islam, Aries, Judaism, and we just had the Iran attacking Israel. This is the genie. This is the stone. We've got all the mainstream astrologers talking about the prophecies of Rodolph, the red-nosed reindeer, stone, Einstein. It's the stone. It's the philosopher's stone. We are at the absolute passage of that perfect point in the Holy Grail, which is the feminine curves. We're at that point of the X of the Holy Grail where we go from one reality to another, that perfect musical movement. And that is just something I know, and this is the point of the Alpha Omega, the passage, and this is the Alpha Omega, this is the Aleph Tav. It's the Aleph and the last letter. We're at that point, and we've got Uranus and Jupiter. Uranus's cycle is every 84 years. We had an earthquake in New York just after I spoke to you, the day after, with the Statue of Liberty and the Jupiter Zeus lightning bolt, exactly like the Devil's Comet that we're about to see on the Statue of Liberty, on the island. She's on the island, on the eye of AlgOl, and look, she has her crown, the Statue of Liberty. So this is the birthing of the whore of Babylon. As we just saw on that chart, it's the 5 years since the old Notre Dame fell. And this year, on the 8th of December, the day that the Queen died, or no, she died on the 8th. When did the Queen die? Because on the 8th of December 2024, Notre Dame, 8th of December, when did the Queen die? Queen die. Mary Queen of Scots. Mary Queen of Scots was born on the 8th of December. And this is the day that they're bringing up the new opening, the day Queen Elizabeth died was 8th of September. Yep, so that's the Virgin Mary's birthday. But the Queen of Scots, Mary Queen of Scots, 8th of December 1952, she was born on the 8th of December, and that is the day that they're rising the new Notre Dame. So passages from Revelation, the great whore of the book of Revelation is featured in chapter 17. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials. The full moon, the next full moon coming up is the pink full moon. And I was thinking she'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be wearing pink pajamas when she comes. I was thinking, so, and there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-coloured beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet colour, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. So where has that here? So we got the bloods, we've got Mars, we've got Mercury still retrograde next to the head of the snake. But we're going to have the sun in Mars. Mars is home in Aries. And we got Jupiter and Uranus conjunct. Is there going to be a big bang? There's big issues going on of the gas. In February, France was the main importer of Russian gas into the EU. I told you about this snake. Paris purchased liquefied natural gas from Russia worth 322 again, 0.3. So that gives us the 2 ways. We've either got 322 or 223. Shows us the flip-flop. 10% more than in January 2024. And this comes from April the 18th, 2024. Well, what do you know? That's today. The day that the sun goes into. So I've told you we've got the snake that runs across. So there was in the news today, Russian spies being caught by the sea, by Biarritz, where we've got Lion's Rock, and we've got this journey from Bordeaux, Montmarsan, all the way through Auch, the Lion Gates. We've got this snake of the gas pipes, which are in the cardinal. This is the cardinal cross. This is the gas, the cardinal cross. So destroying the essence of the cardinal cross with the gas and the pipes. They've got they have the monoliths that you see in Odyssey 2001 next to the pipes, which are in the shape of the cardinal cross, which is gas. The 3 crosses, astrology. The 3 crosses, astrology, images. So we've got these cardinal stands next to showing us where the pipes run all across the countryside. So I've always thought that this is the year of the dragon, next year is the year of the snake. So there's a possibility of something going on with that, I've always said. Okay, let's continue with this journey. So we had on the 8th, so the moon then moved into Pisces for the 7th and the 8th. I'll be showing you all my posts because there's a lot that went on all the time. And Lars sent me this image. So on the 8th, if you put Mexico at 11:55, you get exactly this gap, exactly where Uranus and Jupiter are right now. So for the 4.8, which is the magnitude of the earthquake that was in New York, we've got Uranus, Jupiter, and we've got the eclipse, the crossing of the eclipse, where this little, I'll show you. Let's put Mexico, Central America. Okay, so if we put Mexico, Central America, and then we put the spider web, at that time, so Lars put 11:55. I'm not sure why he put 11:55. Was that the time of the height of the eclipse? He's got here 13:37. So let's put 13:37. You've got right on Ra, and this, you've got it right, I've got it right on Ra. Where's he got it? He's got it right on Medusa. On the time of the eclipse, so that's not Hercules, that's Perseus. So it's moving, this central is moving depending on the time between, so at 15 it was on Aldebaran, at 14, and when was it on Medusa? It was right on Medusa, I make at 14. I put it back to the 20th for the conjunction, and I make at 3 o'clock on the 20th in Ursh, the Lion Gates, where I am, I make that Medusa at 15 o'clock, at 15 hours. So that's certainly a time to watch out for in the area where I am. Let's just go back to Lars's pictures. On the time of the eclipse, Hercules, Medusa, and the triangle will be right above the passage line. So that's Perseus. So he's showing us the different points. So we had the triangle, we've had all the prisms in the sky, and I've got more pictures of more prisms in the sky to show you. So let's go back. Let's get rid of the spider. And let's go back to this journey. So Mars was then, and Mars is still now, in Aquarius. Venus exalted. Little Mercury was not completely invisible yet. And then we had the 7th, then we had the eclipse on the 8th. And then I'm going to be showing you, but on this day we had the changing of the guards in Buckingham Palace. Was the French took over from the English, and nobody was talking about it, but I'm going to be showing you that and many other things that have happened. We've got Dawn French, the dawn of the French, the English comedian, sticking up for J.K. Rowling against Fern Cotton. These are all people, Fern Cotton, I don't know all these people because I've lived in France all my life, but she's an English presenter who now has a famous podcast, and she's sticking up. So it's really the split from the older generation, so the J.K. Rowling, the Dawn French generation, that's the X marks the spot generation, the X generation, who are going to start to be witch hunted for speaking up against the whole trans thing. And this is what we've got coming up now. Mercury's going to be conjunct to Venus as he's retrograde. And Mercury is Hermes and Venus is Aphrodite. That's the hermaphrodite. So 410, all for one and one for all. We had the moon making its little slither in Aries, and we had whiteout. We had supposed dust from Saudi Arabia. The sky went white. I have to get all my dates right. And then we had the moon on Aldebaran, and we had therefore we had that waxing crescent. Now I just found something out today. Heard this on the radio today. Why do we say that the moon is a liar? We say that the moon is a liar because she forms a C, like the first letter, when she's losing her, when she's getting smaller, she's becoming blacker, which is the opposite. Lors du premier croissant, elle forme un D. So as she's getting bigger, she forms a D, comme la première lettre de décroître lorsqu'elle croît. Lune monteuse. Today's the last crescent moon, lying moon. So we got the same thing in English, love of the French, lying moon. Today's the last crescent moon. The moon is said to be a liar because it forms a C like the first letter of the wax while it wanes. Conversely, during the first crescent, it forms a D like the first letter of decrease when it's, so that gives us DCCD, the descent. Below, all it forms called lunar phases or lunations from the new moon, also called black moon, to the full moon, including the gibbous moon. So that means today we've got the waxing moon. Today, here, we've got the waxing moon after the new moon coming up. So we had incredible sunshine for the fertility god moon on Aldebaran here, and now we're like you, we're back to very cold and winds. So on the 12th, then we had the moon on the 13th on the wand of Merlin, and Uranus and Jupiter coming up. So Jupiter is the ruler of Pisces, where Mercury's drowning in the abyss, and the sun and Jupiter, you can feel that energy. You can feel that energy in your heads. I actually think it feels better now that the sun has gone into Aries. But Mars is in that, in the it's the nervous system, it's It's that electric shock energy, as Mars is in Aquarius. It's in that, it's in Aquarius is that nervous system. It's an air sign. So Mars is going to still be here for the 20th. And then the Sun, 15. So we had the bomb. I have to get all the dates right, but we've got 3 crosses, the 4 evangelists. Iran strikes Israel. So that was, when did Iran strike? April the 13th. So April the 13th, Iran struck. So yeah, these guys are getting closer and closer. And yeah, there we go. There is the moon on the wand, right there, that moon on the wand of Merlin. You see, this is what I'm trying to explain. So on the 13th, that all this build-up is to bring in the Orthodox. It's to bring in the Russian Orthodox, to make that mixing between Islam, Taurus and Aries under the Medusa, to merge to make the Orthodox energy. So Ponce Brooks on the 13th was right conjunct to Uranus and Jupiter, right conjunct under AlgOl. And there was the moon, right on the wand of Orion, and Ponce Brooks was completely conjunct, whereas on the 20th, you see, it's moving on. It's moving on. So on the 13th, and that brings up this 13th sign opposite, which is why we then have Batman on the corner of the Danish Dan, tribe of Dana. And the longitude latitude is 55 north and 12 east. So that's the right left of the how wow of the two sides. The two sides. The how wow I 50. And that comet is just that ball, that fire, that exactly like the Statue of Liberty holding up where the bolt of lightning was. So let's go back. Yeah, I'm going to have to go through all my. That's the dawn French. So the dawn of the French. Israel admits Iranian ballistic missiles struck 2 military bases. Difference between 4 evangelists. So, this is, we're at Luke, and Luke of the 4 evangelists of the fixed cross. So we've got Luke, Taurus, Mark, Leo, John, Scorpio, and Matthew, Aquarius. But interesting is Luke and the Madonna. Well, here we go. Straight away, you've got a Luke and the Madonna. But here, you've got Luke that draws the Notre Dame and the one breast of Venus. And, this makes me think of Luke Skywalker and the girl from Star Wars. It's the Virgo girl with Luke. So Luke the Skywalker. Luke. And there's this passage and the pillars. Saint Luke drawing. So this is the most famous icon in Russian art as well. It's always in the Orthodox. In the Orthodox, you get so the Apostle and Evangelist Luke, the Orthodox Church in America, Tradition credits St. Luke with painting the first icons of the Mother of God. So that is Orthodox Russian. Let the grace of him who was born of me and my mercy be with these icons, said the all-pure Virgin after seeing the icons. So if we put Luke on the wall of Babylon, so it looks like St. Luke, Orthodox, Christian, our worship, Orthodox, 9th of Luke, do Eastern, do also worship St. Luke, Greek Orthodox Church. Yep, so that's another weird thing. On Easter Day, so when was Easter Day again? Easter Day was the 31st, was it? Easter Day 2024. What are Easter dates? So, yeah, it was on the March the 31st. So on March the 31st, I found out that 4 bulls were killed in the morning, and then they pushed the second date to the 7th, and another 6 were killed. So that was when the moon was conjunct to Venus, and Mars was still under Fomalhaut, under the true third eye. Okay, so I want to show you as well, well, let's go through the posts and then we can come back and look at what's going on here. So we had, this is the 6th of April, we had all the sun, the discern, I think I showed you that in the last video. And there we've got the lightning that was in the earthquake and the lightning in New York. 4/8. I think I showed that in the last video. So then we have on the 7th of April, desert particles have been intensified from the desert today, obviously. So where I live we were completely a mass of air charged with particles from the desert. So we had 3 days where we literally couldn't breathe. We were completely white out. And then on that day, I do one of these little videos that I do. So this is my dog. He actually, I didn't know last time, this is before he had his bandage on. He's fractured. So his front leg is fractured, and Honey has got terrible breathing problems, her heart, her nose. So I've had just non-stop vet. So look at that light, look at that bull. This is the same day that they were killing, this is it. So yes, 6 bulls will be killed, 4 were killed on Easter morning. All to birth the Matador, Merlin, and the Baguette Wand, Sword in the Stone. Summer Solstice 216 is now in Taurus, Torso, Torah, and the Matador. So, oops. Okay, well, let's watch this from here. So that, you saw the big bull. They have this big bull on, this big bull at the entry of our village. So this was before I knew, because they had x-rayed him. They told me that nothing was fractured, but there was. He is fractured. So I've literally just spent the past 2 weeks at the vets. So there you've got that light, which looks just like the tip of, you know, of the, of that comet. Okay, 1 second. I've got my dog doing, because I have to lock her up because I wouldn't be able to speak because she snores so badly. So I had to put her in the room next door, but she's panicking. 1 sec. So there's that little light just in the sky. Lupiac, the home of D'Artagnan, is 7. It's that last angle. It's the... So 31st of March was the... Le corridor est reporté. So you see at 4 o'clock. So 7 at 4, 16 hours. That was the date of the fire in Denmark. Ouvert la... So they split it in 2, and then lorsque le vent, so that was the Sahara winds coming into Europe, which is just, you know, the changing of community which is going on and bringing Islam to Europe. So this is all that's all the... So that is the steeple of our church. Oh, carry on. So yeah, so that's all the anti. And there is our bull on the tit, on the breast of Venus. Look at the tits that stands just in front of my house. To APPI, so this is all just the matador. And there's that little light still shining. That's the church. That little light coming through. There's like just the... So that's the famous picture of Asker. That was the summer solstice 2023, where we had that massive storm where I am, and all the trees and the branches. And so this is Prince William's birthday, Will I Am, where we've got this conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus under AlgOl between Taurus. I always say that Leo was I will. Lavette always says Taurus is I will, but honestly, the fixed cross, the evangelist, they're all that I will energy. All the fixed signs is very I will. For me, Taurus is I have. But Leo is more of that energy, I create, I will. So here we've got Merlin and the Matador and Taurus, and this is what we're creating. They're creating in the middle. Gemini is the twins, and it's masculine, air. And the mutable cross is ruled by Mercury and Jupiter. So the only air that exists on the mutable cross, air as in the air, the new king, can only come from Mercury, and Taurus is feminine. So this is always back to the only thing that everything is about is taking her fertility. So by taking the fixed cross, by taking the summer solstice, by taking that, you know, the St. Louis, the winter triangle sits between Gemini and Taurus, and we've got Ophiuchus, the green giant that sits between Sagittarius and Scorpio in the galactic gap. That's your G7, it's the GG, it's the Gaga. It's the GG. So this is the Matador. This is the sun sits between Gemini and Taurus now, and this is how the twins Gemini takes Taurus through the fertility of the free martins, which is that case. And I think there are images in this little video that the twins, the female twin comes out with breasts, with a vagina, with everything intact as a female, but sterile, and with the energy and the comportment with the behavior of a male. So it's all about the sword in the stone. We're at Rudolf Steiner now. We're at the Einstein. We're at the Einstein Okay, so that video is done. On that day, 7/4, that was Taiwan earthquake, Tapai 101. Halunian, Taiwan has suffered a 7.4 magnitude earthquake today. That was April the 3rd. April the 3rd. Add to their rituals, 7 + 4 is 11, Aquarius. 11th house, Saturn is the lamb. Okay, not the matador, Arthur and Merlin. Okay, so that's my point. 7 and 4 is 11. We've got Mars and Aquarius. And Asia is always that northeast, that Sagittarius. And we've got the crane. Okay, so that was the 3rd of April. This was an old post, so my new Facebook has been up for 1 year now because I have had all my Facebooks taken down. So this was just an old post explaining eclipses. So there's always that 5 degrees, that Hawaii 5-0, the 2 directions of the sun and the moon, the 2 hands, Hans Christian Andersen. And you have the descending and the ascending. You have 2 horseshoes, one on the ascending, one on the descending, which is that hypothetical point where the sun and the moon's path meets. And that gap is just like the Venus travel. There's also that 5-degree distance between the Earth and the journey of Venus as well, the hidden hands. And that is what causes eclipses. So that was when we had the Messiah. That was a year before. That's the raging bull. The eclipse. Okay. So for the day of the eclipse, the whole of France was white out, white rabbit yesterday. I did a reel about it. You saw that. Apparently dust from the Sahara. We have the white rabbit tax launched in France as CERN launched the White Rabbit collaboration the 26th of March 2024. White Rabbit, an open source timing technology developed at CERN, has applications far beyond particle physics to foster its uptake by industry. CERN has launched the White Rabbit collaboration. So €5 penalty proposed for missing a medical rendezvous in France. So it's always this 5, it's this hidden hand. The change would come into force from January, as is one of several medical updates announced by the Prime Minister. A €5 fine for missing a medical appointment has been officially proposed by Prime Ministers Gabriel Attal, alongside a number of other updates intended to reduce pressure on France's healthcare sector. A so-called taxe de lapin would free up between 15 and 20 million appointment slots. Okay, so the rabbit tax. So we've got the eclipse. What's up, Doc? We've got, it's all the medical. So again, it's all the medical Looney Tunes. There he's got Saturn and Jupiter. So this shows Jesus. He's taking over the role of the rabbit ears of the Saturn and Jupiter fingers. Tax lapin. TikTok. CERN launches the White Rabbit collaboration, has applications far beyond particle physics to foster its uptake by industry. So can you discern tax lapin? So this is the red and blue, and it makes the white light. And on the day of the eclipse, we had in Auch, where William, you'll see the pictures are coming up of the lightning making that ultraviolet white light. We also had these weird white clouds, white horses, and we had Easter, the rabbits, rabbit ears coming out of New York. What's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? The hidden hands. And these two directions, that's the 5-5 and the Hawaii 5-0. That means we're between the two. Hawaii 5-0. So I am the horse that won. The horse that won the Olympic, the horse that won the Aintree race is called I Am Maximilius. So full expansion, maximum expansion of Jupiter, and we've got I Am, that hands. The two directions. There again, you've got the lunar path, the solar path, the two directions, and that 5 degree, just like in Venus. There you've got that rabbit, that Jekyll holding the scythe, Amit, the devourer of the dead. This is the whiteout, that's the sky, that is the white rabbit. Looney Tunes, there is the big white sky that we had. I mean, it has been incredibly weird this few weeks. My goodness, has this few weeks been weird. I can't even begin to tell you the stuff I've been living. And I can't tell you because I just can't say it on YouTube. So there is Ursh, and there is the purple rain, that ultraviolet white light. Picture taken on the 8th of April, the day of the eclipse. We obviously had big storms. I was okay, but all around me, big storms. So I am pretty protected just where I am, although I wasn't on the 216 last year. But there was this lightning and this storm, and there was incredible clouds in Ursh. There's my newsletter that came out on the 9th. I'm coming up to bringing out my new way of working, so there might be something like some kind of subscription thing going on my site. And then, so, you know, I'll keep doing these YouTube videos I'm doing, but I'm going to be doing some kind of regular little videos just so that it doesn't get messy like this, just talking every day about what's going on. And I might even be going on Instagram, which, you know, Instagram is basically just the stag and the ram. It's Taurus and Aries. It's where we are now. But I've got to develop my business. I have to, you know, I am a woman alone without a salary, and I need to bring in more money now, because otherwise I'm going to lose this house, and I want to finish this house because I want to have you guys here, and I want to have my astrology school. So I'm going to do everything I need to do. I've just spent all the money I have. You know, my daughter lost everything, so I've paid her mortgage. I've supported her for 2 years. I've paid all her studies and all her things. So now I want to just focus on me. I've got another good 10 years within me, and I need to, you know, I'm going to stop doing all the people of the region for free. Stop doing all the free readings I do. No, I've got to stop being so autistic and get into business now. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm feeling confident about it. This conjunction of Jupiter Uranus is, you know, we really will create. This is, you know, Jupiter going into Taurus. This is all about not being afraid. That's why we've got that fear nothing on the corner with Batman. This is all about the Jupiter and Uranus conjunction coming up. It's all about the attitude you have towards this whole new reality we're going into. Another image of the storm in Ursh. It's my Nak with his leg in a bandage now, and all the stitches have healed up. That's great. We had to pull the stitches out early because he was getting them stuck on brambles, and we're keeping that leg straight. Okay, so this is the next reel I make. Meanwhile, during the solar eclipse, red pill, blue pill was officially merged, R&B, to make the singularity. Purple rain. For the first time in history, Buckingham Palace will be guarded by French troops in a drill approved by King Charles to mark 120 years of friendly relations. So 120 is 12. And the stock exchange longitude latitude was 55 north and 12 east, because 12 is the closing. They're artificially closing the wheel in the gap and of the two sides of the sun and the moon's direction, the 5-5 Hawaii IO. So these are my images. I didn't show all the images. There's a little rainbow. So earthquake, oops. Okay, so the independent, you've got the French troops, Buckingham Palace. There we go, the French guards and the English. It's the red and the blue. They're making that white line, that ultraviolet, violent purple rain. Generation X, there's the pictures of the eclipse. This is, I always show you the two sides of the coin. French liberty, British liberty, religion, morality, loyalty, obedience to the laws, independence, personal security, justice, inheritance, protection, property, industry, national prosperity, happiness. And the French, atheism, Pyrrhury, rebellion, treason, anarchy, murder, equality, madness, cruelty, injustice, treachery, ingratitude, idleness, famine, national, private, ruin, misery. Well, you know, in France it's impossible to be an entrepreneur. People like me just paying taxes for their little thing, half of our money is taken, so most people just live off the French, because you actually make more money by not working. You know, it's set up like that to encourage people. So everybody cheats, and everybody, because, you know, otherwise you're just stupid. But because I have to be careful, because I would just have people, jealous people. So I always, you know, for me, I just see that we're in one big game, and you've got to play Saturn's game. And I would rather just play the game without getting upset about it. And I'm going to just make more money. So off you go. So you see, oops, we've just got that Vesica Pisces. We're in the fish, all for one and one for all. French soldiers take part in changing the guard at Buckingham Palace for the first time during the eclipse. I mean, that's just so enormous. That's... Lapin, the rabbit tax came in. Okay, off we go. Nice picture of an egg. Of the Easter egg. Voila, the egg, the last leg egg. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Puss in Boots, Jupiter, D'Artagnan, the caped hero kills Bill. The egg, Saturn wears the true cap. Right. Epinal prints were prints on popular subjects, rendering in bright, sharp colours, sold in France. So look, you've got the little red cap, the epinal printing. You got red, and you got the blue on each side. They're so clever how they show you with social media. These are the Berbers, with his noddy hats. Okay, So watch out, people. Don't lose your cool today. Waxing crescent slither of the black new moon eclipse we had in Pisces. Now moon emotions in Aries, anger, conjunct Uranus and Jupiter. Is your head, crown, crane, tingling, hurting? Mars, wars, ruler of Aries. Combust, Saturn, authority, control. Saturn, ruler of Capricorn, Aquarius, where Pluto is in Capricorn, opposite axis to Cancer, moon, and ruler of Aquarius, conjunct Mars. Jupiter, ruler of Pisces, where Mercury is visible and invisible and retrograde, conjunct moon, and Uranus in Aries. Mars, Aries, fire spirit, rules the head, skull, and Saturn, bones, conjunct Mars in Aquarius, nervous system, electricity, plus brain, Aries, and obviously Jupiter, veins, liver, Uranus, electric shock, and moon, feelings, under AlgOl, alcohol. It's your spirit rising through the flesh, and many will not be able to contain that energy. Keep surfing. We're doing fine. I'm rising Aries with Mars in Aries, and all my planets are exactly where they are now in different places. I sure feel it. Yeah, my whole chart is just Aquarius, Pisces, and the beginning of Aries, and that's it. Opposite Uranus and Pluto in Leo and Virgo, and Neptune just in Libra. So it's just one bow tie, and all the planets in the 12th house and the 6th house. So 3 signs duplicated. So all this is just happening right on top of my Chiron and my North Node, exactly for that eclipse where the North Node. And so yeah, I can certainly feel, and that has been really one big Mercury retrograde. Just surf on through. By June we're back fully in black in the earthly flesh. Taurus, Atlas, the gorge, George, throat. For now it's head, lymphatic system and nervous system in the mix. So Aries, head, Pisces, lymphatic system, and Aquarius, the nervous system, with Virgo, intestines, where the south node is, ovaries and stomach, south node. So that was the pictures on the all for one and the one for all. 410, moon conjunct Jupiter and Uranus. Mars and Saturn were completely conjunct. That was a big day, and people replied to this post saying one man had massive people having fights, and it was a very big day, that all for one, one for all. A lot of people felt it. I didn't have any problems with people, but I certainly knew that many would. Okay, that's a nice little quote. You can read that there. The fool's standpoint is that all social institutions are games. He sees the whole world as game playing. That's why when people take their game seriously and take on stern and pious expressions, the fool gets the giggles because he knows that it's all a game. Alan Watts. And I wrote, yup, that's when you are released, you become air, laughing gas. Very much what's going to happen with this conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus is that, are you going to bring out the demon? Are you going to bring out the genie? Or can you just see the whole game? If you're still getting angry or arguing over such nonsense, it's all a game, and only the fool knows that. The rest are stuck in righteous, pompous ideologies, belief programs, right, wrong, laws and rules, when it's a game. It's a show that everyone must experience to eventually become the fool too. It's an alchemical, alembic pot. Oh yeah. So here we go for the total solar eclipse, 4 years after 2019. So now that's 5 years. The 216 summer solstice. So here we go. This little boy called Louis, because the eclipse was right on Louis, and Louis is the silver gates. We have, look, she's holding the red ball, the red sun of the empire. I mean, give me a break. So on December the 26th, 2019, the public prosecutor notified Marine Verhoeven of an order to hand over Louis to his father, Shushi Kudo, So this French mother had to give the Louis back. So this is Asia taking over. This is Northeast. This is Valentine. This is Asia, D'Artagnan taking the Louis, the axis of the Silver Gate, the winter triangle between Gemini and Taurus. Orion is being given to this gap, to this god here, to Asia. Now you've got Lupiac, you've got this summer triangle here, there's the Lyra. So the two mainstream astrologers going on. This was a very interesting chat about the Orphic mysteries, but this came out 3 days ago, right now, Orphism. So Orphism is all about Ophiuchus, and there he is carrying his lyra. He brings poetry and mystic. So, you know, these are all the intellectuals, the people guiding the astrology. So this is Orphism with his lyra, and there is the lyra, and here right on top of Sagittarius, he's just Batman, he's got his big cape. This is Jupiter merging now as Pluto is in Capricorn, in black Capricorn, yellow Asia fire, making the new Batman, the manga coming from Japan. They've already prepared generations of children with that manga energy. So it's very interesting, but I'm just seeing, when I listen to them talking about this it's all very clever and beautifully spoken about and explained, but it's just Ophiuchus, the green god, who is rising with this devil's comet right now, and the other big astrologers that I enjoy watching, Lada very much, there's very good, it's all very, you learn a lot. But they did a whole thing on Lada astrology, on Rudolf Einstein, the Antichrist incarnated already, Prophecies for Humanity by Rudolf Steiner. We're at the Philosopher's Stone. These are bringing in all the new age, just like Tesla. I mean, you're not going to get, you know, these are the leading astrologers on YouTube, and they're both talking about right now the Philosopher's Stone, one of them here, and the other ones are talking about the Lyra. This is the gap, this is the galactic gap, this is the GG between the Silver Gate and the Golden Gates. And this article that we're reading about, where did it go? Okay, so it's an appeal. On March 20th, the European Court of Human Rights rendered a judgment unfavourable to Marine Verhoeven, who had filed a complaint against France, and the court decisions ordering the return of her son Louis to Japan. The child was picked up by his father on December the 26th in Salle d'Aude, and her lawyer had pleaded violation of Article 8. This Monday, April the 18th, the word sums up the state of mind of Nadine Ver, Louis' grandmother, but also from Mr. Julien Martin, so JM, Jupiter Mercury, lawyer of Marine, the mother of a child at the heart of a very long-term procedure. So, the fight for her child. So this was on the night of the attack between the 12th and the 13th of Iran. And I was, you know, very aware that we had this waxing crescent moon, 12/4 in Taurus on the bullseye. Venus, ruler of Taurus, exalted in Pisces, Sun in Pisces, Mercury retro, combust Sun, and invisible, blinded by the Sun. Jupiter, ruler of Pisces, where lunar north node and Chiron sits for his last cycle too. Jupiter, Uranus, conjunct and soon combustion, 20th of April in Aries, as Mars, ruler of Aries, still conjunct Saturn in Aquarius, Saturn, Pluto in Capricorn, Neptune in Pisces. Okay, so this was before I knew, but, you know, I was really, I'm picking up about Pisces, the V for victory, and we've got, so I do these little reels, so you see, we'll go and have a look at the 12/4. So we've got the four corners and the number 12. The 12 is that, all the wheel. These are all the sheep. Okay, so let's go look at the 12th. 9, 10, 11, 12. So there is the moon right on Aldebaran, and Mercury completely blinded in the V for victory. And the V for victory, Venus exalted. The man, they've just brought in the mojo, the man, the hand of Fatima, the hidden hand, the man of Fatima. It's all about this hidden hand, the Hawaii 5-0, and we're merging into one, the hand of Fatima. And the moon was on Aldebaran. And that, before, little did I know, we were about to have. So then I still didn't know about the bombing, but I'm showing that we've got these incredible blue skies. And I'm showing the moon is right between the Matador. This is the 13th. So we had these 2 days of blue to the fertility god, Taurus. And then the white line started to come. The Matador, Orion, and Taurus, the fertility god. So that's what I'm showing. And that is, we just had the attack and I didn't know yet. Got an A in the sky there. That's my tree. That is all just, he must be 800 years old. So he's lost all his big branches, but the leaves are coming back, so he's not looking so forlorn with the leaves coming back. These are all my oak trees. That's what I live off, soup and fruit, that's all I eat. And do I have in this picture look, there we've got a triangle, and I'll show you another. We've got this prism, this triangle. There it is, this triangle. That weird sun, and you know, it looks like there's another moon or a sun underneath. There's something very weird going on there. Oh, and that triangle again. Okay. This is my poor honey snorting. This is how she breathes now. So it's not funny at all. Some people were laughing here. It's not funny at all. We've had x-rays, but after the vet x-raying and saying it's the heart, I went back to my homeopathic vet this morning, and he says he thinks now it's coming from there's some deformation to the top nasal, whereas last autumn when this began, he said that he thought it was the larynx. So they keep changing their mind, and I've got to get to the bottom of it. I will get to the bottom of it. Right. You're red electric, and we're now at this middle point, rising Mercury and the 7 heads. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is exactly what we've got. The moon is going to be for this 20th combustion of Jupiter and Uranus. So semi-sextile, working with Mars and Saturn. Mars, the ruler of Aries. Mercury still retrograde, conjunct to the head of the snake, Venus and Chiron. So this is where all my planets are. I only have all these. This chart is me, and I've got, so I'm watching out, because that's my chart. That boom, that's all. Although this is all one house and this is all one house. I've got duplicated. Saturn opens my 12th house, and the Sun opens exactly here, like this, 3 signs. So it's not an opposition on this part, it's between the 12th and the 6th, but this eclipse is going on right here for me. So Mercury, the ruler of Virgo, where the tail of the snake is, where the moon will be moving on the 20th from Leo to Virgo, the whore of Babylon. This is going to be the new descent as the sun goes under. So, this is the true Aquarius and Leo. Aquarius will take the new north, the new MC, which is the spring equinox, is in fact, the true winter equinox, new year, and the feet at the bottom is the descendant. This is the Narnia. This is very big date, this 20th coming up, this conjunction. So Venus exalted, Venus the ruler of Taurus, where Uranus and Jupiter sit in Aries under AlgOl before they enter Taurus. They're right in that gap. Israel, and this icon of the Madonna and the child, the Dauphin, that St. Luke sits with, this Orthodox energy coming in. We've got a trine between Jupiter, Uranus and the moon at that time, in conjunct here, and a big opposition with the South Node and Mercury. And that we're going to have Mercury and Venus completely conjunct, the hermaphrodite. So this is really the birth of the new androgynous child between Mercury and Venus. So that time that they are completely conjunct, it's happening on the 19th. That's tomorrow. Got the hermaphrodite. So Mercury and copper, and Sun is now in Aries, and Mars is not yet in Pisces. Mars will enter Pisces on the 24th. What was I saying here? Blue magnetic moon, red electric sun, paddy bear, PB, lead, P9, B6, Yin Yang, Black and White, 69, 96, 007, Red Blue Shift of the North Star Polaris Bear, Merry Magic Go Round, About Spin, round and round the garden like a teddy bear, your red blue pillars, temples, each side of your skull, JB, James Bond, Bridget Jones, blowjob. Okay, right, so what's this? Yeah, this is me asking about Instagram because I'm really questioning myself and I don't know. I still don't know. I'm waiting for Mercury to stop being retrograde to make my final decisions. Do I have to go on Instagram for my work? Are you on Instagram? Instagram is the merging of Taurus, cow, deer, feminine, Venus with Aries, sheep, ram, masculine, Mars. But they kill the moon goddess Diana. She was killed by the deer hunters to sacrifice her to the French. The dawn of the French. Saint Martin de Tours, Mars, Jupiter, Saint Hubert, Bambi's mother, the deer is Taurus, and they invert masculine Venus, Libra with feminine Venus, Taurus. She's made into a sterile stag, Moe's cow, jumped over the moon. The matador Orion kills her, the gentle fertile cow. Taurus becomes the Me Too bull god dog APPI. In a brave new world, 70% of women are free martins. As we leave Gemini the twins in mutable cross and Taurus feminine takes summer solstice, Gemini the twins and Taurus in the silver gate Louis gap create free martins. Mars rules feminine Scorpio and masculine Aries. It's the inversion perversion of Aries I am and Taurus I will to crown William Guillaume and rise the stag. William born the 21st of the 6th, 216. 216 is the 3 degrees. The sun moves 3 degrees, every 72 years the sun moves 1 degree, so 3 times 72 is 216, and 216 is 6 times 6 times 6, and 216 is the summer solstice. So it's all about the fight for the summer solstice. So the moon was where the sun is for the bombing on the 13th. So the bombing, I come to the bombing a little bit later. So that was before I knew about the bombing, and here, this is where I knew about the bombing. The 13th of the 4th was where the sun on the 216. We're going to come to it in a minute. But the 13th of the 4th, and it was early in the morning. It was like 7, 8 in the morning. So you have the moon where the summer solstice is. Do you get it? The moon is exalted in Taurus, and the moon was where the sun should be when Iran attacked Israel. So it's the Islam attacking where the sun should be, Christianity, Merlin, Europe, Christian, Hans Christian Andersen, who wrote The Little Mermaid, where the stock exchange fell. Hans Christian. That happened as well. It was on the We're Going at Sea, but I think it's just got so much to show you every time. This is very good. The 3 crosses. The 3 crosses. You have the 3 crosses of the astrological tradition. Consciousness identified with the bodies of manifestation, space, entropy, movement, time. I'll post this in the video in the comments so you can have a look. Okay, so the fire, 5 years after the fire of Notre Dame Cathedral is restored. So I wrote about that fire, about Notre Dame, as my newsletter, which I put onto YouTube. And then that happened, the fire in, so, you know, this is 5 years since my dog was killed. This is all coming up to something. And I was looking at the depeche because remember that flight MH37, so the Vesica Pisces is 3773, which makes L77 is LL and 33 is EE. L back to front is the Vesica Pisces passage. 777 disappearance of them. So there's a big thing in the depeche. Oops. See, it's all the 5 years, the hidden hand, 2019, April the 15th, the moon was on in Leo, the whore of Babylon, and now the moon is going to move. So right now, today, the cathedral's reopening remains scheduled for December the 8th. Anyway, we'll get to that. I'm jumping around. Whilst I think, we'll come to it. There are 55 miles between Russia and Canada, RC, Cairo, Charles Rex, the Cairo, and that is the longitude, latitude 55 north of Hans Christian Andersen. So that was my newsletter before this happened 3 days ago, and I was explaining this is the hidden hand, this is the Manda Fatima, this is the hidden five, and then we had the fire in the stock exchange, which I'm going to come to. Grand National was won by I Am Maximus, Willie Mullins, the Milky Way snake. Okay, we'll get to what that is about. I've got to get back to where I was. So, yeah, let's come back to this. So let's have a look at the pictures. So 6/21/2024, the sun will be where the moon was for the firing. There is the moon with Mars. So they are inverting exactly what we just saw, the moon on the wand of Orion. So moon and Mars and sun and Venus. Taurus, Aries. The hunter, Aries, and Taurus, the deer. This is Saint Hubert, the patron saint. I always say it's Saint Martin de Tours, but it's the same person. This is the patron saint of hunters. Princess Diana was being hunted as she went under the pont de Alma. Alma. It's the Allemagne. It's the Alma. It's many other things too, but see, it's Al, it's Momo, it's Al, Mohammed, Al, Aladdin, it's the AL, so Uber, Saint Hubert, Uber, urban, rural, so up. These are the Saint Martin, the twins. So Taurus, for Gemini to keep hold of Taurus, what does he do? He creates free Martinism, is one of the most commonly found intersex conditions in cattle, although it may also occur in small ruminants. Appears in dysbiotic twin pregnancy where one twin is a male and the other is a female due to precocious anastoms between the placental vascular systems of the two fetuses. Masculinizing molecules reach the female twin and disrupt the normal sexual differentiation, whilst in the male the effects of this association are usually minimal. So, heard about free Martinism is a severe form of sexual abnormality in cattle. It causes infertility to 90% of the female calves born with male twins. So, this is it. Mars and Venus. Mars and Venus are being inversed. It's the anima, the animus. Mars, Venus, Sun, Moon. Can a free martin get pregnant? A free martin cannot get pregnant. The hormone treatments render the woman infertile, allowing them to move easily, engage in the free love that the state encourages. Free martins are women who are born sterile due to exposure to male hormones in the womb. This is the same condition that affects some calves who are born and referred to as free martins. Does a free martin have to be a twin? Scientific studies have shown that in calves, free martyrdom occurs when the male twin shares hormones with the female, rendering it infertile. In A Brave New World, the hormones are introduced artificially, and the free martins need not be twins. So, Momo's cow, Muhammad's, Moscow, the merging of Islam, Judaism and Christianity, it gives you the golden calf, the orthodox OXO in the X, so it's creating this new religion. And this, they had the famous French film, the Russian dolls. So during the Cold War, this experimentation was done on the Russian women, is what I think, and I've spoken about that for a long time. Okay. This Aintree, the anus, the Aintree, it's just the maypole going round and round. Talking of I am Aries and I will Taurus, will I am, we have Willie Mullins, WM Milky Way, and I am Maximus as Jupiter Uranus reach combust between I am Aries. So the Formula One winner was called Max. We've got Mad Max. I am Aries and I will Taurus Acca Maximus under AlgOl this 24 Jupiter maximum expansion wins entry. I am Maximus storm clear to win the Grand National for jockey Paul the Townsend and trainer Willie Mullins. Okay, I'm sorry to jump around, but these are all the things I was thinking about. I was looking at 1944, the 15th, so the date of Notre Dame's falling in 1944, and we had, yeah, look at that. We had, so, where has Uranus got? Uranus and Saturn in, so what about D-Day 1944? D-Day 1944, 6, I can't remember what I was looking at. I was looking at something precise, but wow, look at that. D-Day, we've got Sun, Saturn and Venus all on the wand of Orion. And we got the moon, so that means that the moon was there too for D-Day. So at that time, the sun was still in Gemini, was not yet in Taurus. So for D-Day 1944, the sun is not in Taurus, it's completely in Gemini the whole day. But it began on the 21st, the moon was just in Gemini, the sun, so there was a new moon on the wand of Merlin for the 1944. D-Day was 6-6. D-Day was 6-6. So we've got Venus and Uranus conjunct on Aldebaran, and we've got Sun, and we've got Mercury in Taurus, Venus, Uranus, Sun, Saturn, there we go. D-Day, Saturn was right on the wand of Merlin for D-Day. So 1944, I was looking at 42 So 42, we had Uranus and Saturn conjunct. We had Jupiter on the wand of Merlin for 1942. So 42, and tomorrow we're going to be for the Olympics. We're in 2024. Yeah, I'm not sure what I was coming to with all that. Off we go. You can read this in YouTube. Hello, my darlings. I hope so. Tomorrow, 15th of April, the moon will be first quarter waning. So you can go and read that. It's in my community on my YouTube channel. But I was, this is the time to birth. Aries is the newborn baby. Pisces is the lymphatic. 20 is the birthing. So look, you read that. And then now I'll show you the pictures. So this is this Pisces in the hand, in the hidden hand. Venus is exalted in Pisces. And we've got, so I was showing you about the 5 years of Notre Dame. I was showing you Luke and the icon of the merging. There's the Manda Fatima. Here is the pentagram in the Botticelli. And here is the 5 years, the 5-pointed star made every 8 years by the Venus cycle. Okay, I've only got 4 pictures there. But there are more. So in this, only 55 miles, I've covered this in my Russia, Canada, Charles Rex, RCCR, Chiron. So that's your 55. Cairo, pronounced Kiro, similar. The Chi is the X and the Rho is the P. The Cairo symbol has been used to generally represent Christianity as a whole or Christ as a person. This symbol is also called a Christogram, Chrismon, Sigla, or the monogram of Constantine. So Charles, Christian, the 4 corners, Chiron. So we're coming up to Chiron's last. Chiron is going to enter. Chiron is, look, he's right on the last degree of Pisces. Although we can't be sure of that because Pisces and these, so he's going to be, it's not quite there. But for the Olympics, he may well have moved into Aries. So we really are, look, we're at the Chi, this is the last key. The last, if you make that journey of the key, it gives us exactly the symbol of the Chi-Rho, the cross. And you turn that up the other way around and it's the P in the cross. Okay. Now I've picked up on what happened in Iran. So 13th of the 4th, moon was where the sun is on the 21st, William's birthday, summer solstice on the wand of Merlin, Jupiter, Uranus, sit between Israel, square to Saturn, Mars, sun in V for victory with the Messiah, Mercury, blinded and retrograde conjunct head, snake, Rahu, and the wounded healer, Chiron. Sun enters Aries the 18th, that's today, and the 20th of April, Uranus, Jupiter, Big Bang, combust under demon star, AlgOl, with Devil's Comet. Last time Uranus left Aries for Taurus under AlgOl was 1940, and in 1948 Uranus left Taurus for Orion, the wand of Merlin. Don't forget that mainstream astrology have got this conjunction going on at the end of Taurus, which makes the wand of Merlin. So this conjunction is on the wand of Merlin, and that's what this whole big comet is at its brightest. So, you know, this passage, that passage, the whore of Babylon, the mind, the spirit, the Ra, the whore of Babylon, there we go. Look at the pictures. So here's APPI, the bull god. We saw that the Devil's Comet is just going to enter this nice picture of Lars, in the name of the Father, the 4 corners, and we saw the 4 corners. The last corner was shown to us at the stock exchange. And Israel, it's the II, Israel and Iran. We've got II, Hawaii, 5-0, II, 5-0, the last hidden hands. So look at those leaders. They show us America and Russia, and they show us India and China. So those are going to be your new four corners, the new powers, America and Russia, and India and China. He's the British Prime Minister, I know, but that's what they're showing us. There's Russian Orthodox, there's American, but there's no more Europe. There's no more Europe. It's over. I always put Saint Jacques de Compostelle because that's him. This is Merlin, this is Orion, this is your new between your temples. That should be the high priestess. And this is the D'Artagnan taking your place in your temples, between your temples. The left brain, the right brain. This is your Israel. Yang, and the Boaz and the Jachin, Janus, and here is your rising now. These are Taurus is the magnet, the north-south. It's always about, so the north-south is in fact the spring equinox. The spring equinox is the true north-south, the spring and the fall. We are on the wrong four corners. Water mumbling to the floor. Islam, mumbling to the wall. Judaism, fire, the flame, mumbling to the ceiling, looking above, the flame, fire, and air, the Indian, Hindi. So there is the four corners, the four elements, the four humors. Isis, Kenate gods, sun gods, Israel. Okay, that's just a video about white, barium, aluminium, bar, and owl is Baal worship, and that's what we've got. So there, Baal. 56 and 31 was that aluminium. Is that 13 or 31? It looks like there's a little other, I don't know if that's the camera or, okay, I don't think I have the patience to go through those pictures. Up brings me to the last post, the two hands Christian Anderson. So the Christian in the middle, Am and NZ, the 5-5 longitude, Copenhagen, the Little Mermaid. Pisces is the 12th house where the head of the snake is. Sun, Mercury, head of snake, and tail in Virgo. Mermaid falls to earth, feminine axis, over rover. Northeast, Sagittarius, D'Artagnan, the caped hero. Closing of wheel in the gap, 5-5 and 12, obviously. Copenhagen longitude 556761 north and latitude 12 east to make how wow I Israel, Iran, 5-0, Venus, 5 years since Notre Dame fell. Denmark, tribe of Dan, DNA, ADN, Holy Grail, hourglass curve of the female, X marks the spot of the flip-flop heart. 400 years old, 4 corners, last corner and the jack in the box, all for one and one for all. Happened at 16 hours, 4 o'clock. Jupiter, Pisces. Jupiter rules Pisces, Sagittarius, mutable water and mutable fire. This is Batman. So Batman, the caped hero is more Sagittarius, and Aquaman is your Pisces. So you got Aquaman, Jupiter, and Jupiter, Batman. In Pisces, Aquaman. In Sagittarius, Batman. The caped hero of the Empire, Mercury, rules Gemini and Virgo. Mutable air and earth is Robin, the police. So here you've got the police, Mercury, and Jupiter, Batman, and you've got DC. He's taking the DC. So Jupiter is now going from Aries into Taurus. So he's going under the horizon. There was something about that. Yeah, something about Jupiter having finished an arc and doing a new arc. So he's done from Libra to Aries, and now he's going underneath. That's just something else I was thinking. So Batman Jupiter has no black earth and he has no air wings. He has just a cape, but he has no cap. He's a pompous fake. Jupiter currently, so there's nothing wrong with Jupiter. Jupiter's great. He's how we expand. He's how we find our expansion, our full expansion, our maximus, our max, before we learn to contract Saturn. It's just finding that break-even point. There's nothing wrong with any sign or any planet. It's just how they're used and ignorance of people who will just never come back to the astrology. I get exhausted with watching all these fakes. The mainstream astrology giving you Rodolph Steiner and giving you the Orpheus cult coming back, which is just a Fukius. So Jupiter, the lawmaker and breaker, and Mars, aggressive fire and Aquarius, the rebel, Uranus, so hang on, yeah. Pompous fate. Jupiter currently conjunct in high cardinal fire, Aries combust to Uranus. Mars, ruler of Aries, conjunct Saturn, old building, government institution, stock exchange. Jupiter, the lawmaker and breaker, and Mars, aggressive fire, in Aquarius, the rebel. Uranus, the change bringer. Jupiter moves into Taurus, money, exchange, and Uranus moves into Taurus, which is also agriculture, food, stock exchange, in May and June. After the combustion, the 20th of April in Aries, Jupiter and Uranus will move into Taurus, and they're under AlgOl, the demon star. The Empire Jupiter strikes back. Saturn, old buildings, old structures. Half moon was in Cancer, opposite Pluto in Capricorn. So for that date, we had a half moon. We had a half moon in Cancer. So let's go back to now. Let's go to, so it was when the moon was in Cancer. So the moon, the fire, so the fire happened on the 16th, therefore, because the moon was in Cancer. So the moon was opposite Pluto. The moon was opposite Pluto. And by the way, whilst we're looking there, Stellarium. Okay, so we're just looking here so I can see Ponce Brooks. So the 13th was Israel, Iran. So that was when Ponce Brooks, the demon star, was absolutely conjunct. And then for the 13th, and then for the 16th, Ponce Brooks was in Taurus. Or was it just still in Mercury is then pretty conjunct to Venus, but it will be completely conjunct. So today for the 18th already, and so there's just the Venus moving on, doing the do-si-do there. Okay. So half moon was in Cancer, opposite Pluto in Capricorn, moon domicile in Cancer, Kali destruction, and Pluto in Saturn's home of Capricorn, true cap, square to Sun, Mercury, North Node, and Chiron, Sun, about to enter Aries, 18th of April, Big Bang, 19th, 20th, Uranus, Jupiter combust in Aries, Mars walls. So we've got this on the corner. We've got fear nothing. We've got Pollux and Castor, Gemini, the police, and Jupiter showing us his merging, black and yellow. He wants Capricorn. Got a half moon in Cancer. And we've got the same steeple as at Notre Dame. So talking about this is the what? This is the sword. This is the wand. This is Orion. This is lighting the Olympic flame. So this looks pretty orthodox as well. So there's Pluto. And that is the chart of that. So there you see you had a perfect opposition of the moon and Pluto making a square to the sun. So you had moon, Pluto and sun. The sun at that moment just before it enters Aries with Chiron. Both about to enter Aries, and Uranus and Jupiter as well, almost coming up combust here. But that is the biggest thing there, is this opposition. And interestingly, in the 3rd, 9th house, and we got rising just at the beginning, right on that between. So that rising is right on the wand of Merlin. I mean, that's just where I've got it. I've got it at Copenhagen. I've got it at exactly that time. We've got the rising exactly where they want the new, this is the true summer solstice. The spring is the true new year. So we don't see that steeple. Is that the steeple? It looks very Islam. It's the same steeple as my church. Very four corners, the courtyards. And I just keep showing that because it's just showing you the two directions and the key. It's just the two sides, the sun, the moon, and this wonderful picture of Lars showing the expansion and the contraction and the true merging at this time. So there's your Leonardo da Vinci man, full expansion, full maximum, max, I am max. I mean, the horse that won is called I am max. And this is what difference between Iran strikes Israel, Dawn French, Grand National, Door of the Boeing. Yeah, this is Max, 737 Max, torn off in mid-flight. Caution is the mother of safety. After the incident of the escape door of an Alaska Airlines 737 Max being torn off at an altitude of 49. When was this? Published on the 1st of the 23rd, 24. For the Boeing, so that, but 737 Max 9 to service. After the Max 9, 737, okay, that let me see, La Dépêche, 15th of April 2024, because this 15th of April 2024, okay, so when was it? Was it the 14th? I bought the newspaper, but I didn't take a picture for you, so I'm looking for the picture. Was it the 16th? There. MH370, the Thes, the detournement. So you've got the Olympic flame, the flame being lit. This is the day of the fire. So the Thes of the ancient pilot from Toulouse, l'expert of the flight of Malaysia Airlines that crashed. PB, Patrick Blelly evoked. So we got PB, Ponce Brooks, Paddington Bear, P, so that's your 216. B is the second letter and P is the 16th. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Yep, 16th. So always showing you the yin yang, the 9669 PB. So he's going back. It says of the detournement. John, 94 years old. So this is it. This is rallumer the feu. This is exactly what's going on. They're lighting the fire. So that day that I got that newspaper was the day of the fire. Okay, so there's the Jupiter symbol. There's your full expansion. The Leo da Vinci man at max. I am max. And we're at that X marks the point, that max where it will start to contract. There is that northeast, the merging of Sagittarius and Venus. He looks like he's got Venus. No, Venus and Mars. Venus and Mars to make Ophiuchus, this 13th sign in the galactic gap. Right here between Jupiter and Mars and Mercury and Venus. And what do we have? We've got Mercury and Venus conjunct. We got Mercury and Venus conjunct. Boom. Tomorrow is there really conjunct. At Paris Olympics is the Jupiter symbol. So Jupiter makes that 2442 and Uranus is the 84 years for the cycle of Uranus, and every 12 years for Jupiter. 12 and 12 is 24. That's the two directions. Jupiter wants to have his two directions, his how-wow. He wants to be the two directions of the 5 degrees that we find. So this is the true closing of the wheel. You should have yellow fire on the outside, Aries, and black in the center, Aries and Taurus. The sun and the moon merge for the yin and the yang. We have Scorpio, white water, Libra, red air, Mars and Venus, and black and red, Saturn, Capricorn, black, red, Aquarius. That is the true order, but we are giving Batman yellow and black, and that's exactly where we are, crucifying the fixed cross in the mutable gap and putting mutable signs, Sagittarius with Capricorn and mutable Pisces, Jupiter with Aries. So that gives you your Ukraine, yellow and blue. They're putting Ukraine on They're putting Jupiter and Pisces merged with Mars and Aries, that blue-yellow. There is no, you know, the blue-yellow is the sun and the moon that merge. So then we've got little Mercury, mutable Gemini merged with Mother Cancer and Virgo and Libra, which was the story of Adam and Eve when Lilith was sent out of the garden. The eagle fell to the ground as a scorpion when it should be Libra and Scorpio coming back as one again. So there's your yellow and black. And the story of the steeple. Mind the gap, and there you've got the cycle of Venus. So you've got the 50 days. Venus is below the horizon, the 5-0, the Hawaii 5-0, the Manda Fatima. The Manda Fatima is also known as the very much like Hamas, hand of Fatima. Hamsa is Hamas. Hamsa. So Hamas. Go. Hamas, Israel. It's all about the Manda Fatima being risen, this last 5. Okay, darlings, we're going to end here. Let's go right back to this instant of where we are now, so that you can really get. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just trying to see 7 heads. 7 heads, and there is the moon right now on Regulus as I speak. So, darlings, just watch out and look at these next 2 days coming up. There's going to be a contre-coup, a contre-attack. And remember that this merging of Jupiter and Uranus is just the most beautiful awakening. It is that moment where you defy the sword in the stone, the philosopher's stone. This is where you awaken that beautiful, you know, Medusa. You either, you know, you find her when she was the beautiful maiden, or they're turning Notre Dame. You know, we're really turning into the darker side of that Madonna, the Black Madonna and her son. So with Luke that was painting this image of the Madonna, but it was the dark, it was the Black Madonna. So AlgOl, we're coming into that spirit. Alma, as the mother, Al as the mother. Okay, darlings, all my love. I'm free for readings, so I'll leave my site in the comments for you. Okay, bye for now.